issue additional updates as events warrant. We will, of course, have now seen that wonderful photo of President Bush sitting in his wheelchair, surrounded by former presidents Clinton, Obama, and President George W. Bush, along with their wives, and current First Lady Melania Trump. President Trump did not attend the funeral of Barbara Bush, but he did send his best wishes to the Bushes during a rose garden ceremony with French President Emmanuel Macron earlier today. Listen to this.
This morning, we all send our prayers to the Bush family as we wish former President George H.W. Bush a very speedy recovery.
President Trump on the south lawn of the White House earlier today. Of course, President Bush was also there for visitation during the ceremonies for Barbara Bush, shaking many hands. We are told that this infection spread to his blood. That is obviously very dangerous in a man who is 93 years old and has had a series of health problems. But his spokesman, Tim McGrath, struck an optimistic note in his second statement, telling us, quote, "The 41st president wants to go to Maine this summer. He's the most goal-oriented person on the planet, and I would not bet against him." Very few of us today would bet against President George H.W. Bush, and I'm sure the entire country hopes to see him in his beloved Kennebunkport later this summer. Good.
Brian, what happens? All right, Jonathan Clark, thank you very much.
So we are continuing to await a joint news conference. Presidents Trump and Macron leaving the White House on the first official state visit of the presidency.
Middle float. Axe. Firebomb. Blade shot.
Playing with one hand's pretty hard. You press your mode button, select and start to exit. At the moment, I'm not using the escape button. These are mapped to L2, R2. So this is key 1, 2, 3, 4 So this equates to your Y, like if you want to save a favorite. And the button mappings are a little different for other emulators. One player. And that's about it. I got about 10,000 games on it. Show you the back. The only piece I don't have in place yet, it's printing right now, is the bottom monitor cover. It fills in this little bit of a gap and it covers your buttons, but in general you probably will not need a bezel unless you have a weird size screen, and if you do, then I'll leave that to you guys. Show you the back end. About 120 hours of printing. I primered and painted it black with red stripes. Here's the lock mechanism. 3D printed hinges. I've got power to the monitor, power to the Raspberry Pi going through this hole. Turn the lock. There's your monitor mount. And at the very back, the blue, that is the keyboard controller. This monitor takes a VGA, so I had to get an HDMI to VGA converter. They're $5 on Amazon. A 3/8 stereo jack to RCA is what I needed to connect the audio to the monitor from the Raspberry Pi. And my ROMs are on a USB stick. My recommendation would be install RetroPi in your emulators on the mounted SD card, because when you run into problems and you have to reboot, your ROMs will most likely become corrupt. If you have to interrupt the power to reboot it. If you're using a Pi hat, it has a power button that you hold for 3 seconds, and supposedly it's supposed to shut it down correctly. I'm not using that. So what you'd have to do is go into your RetroPi setup and enable the USB service routine. And then anytime you SSH or over a network log into your Pi, anything you copy to the SD automatically gets copied over to the USB stick. And if you have to shut it down by unplugging it, the USB stick will not become corrupt. So I keep my ROM separate from my RetroPi image. I'll just load up one more retro game here. The game that started it all, in my opinion. Now you could add your old, with the vents down here, there's plenty of room inside. Don't even know if you can see those. You could use a small amplifier and put your speakers right there. I've got great sound coming out of my monitor speakers, which are located in this area on the back of the monitor. So it reflects and comes right out the vents, and actually in doing so it gives me a little bit more low end. I'm not sure how well the audio is being picked up by the phone, but it's got enough low end for me. Please do not ask me about ROMs. I will tell you that Google is your friend, and it should not be hard at all to find what you're looking for. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this build, and if there's any other questions about the build, just post them on Thingiverse. Later.